Всім привіт!
Hi everyone. I think that we've basically to welcome all of our participants of the hackathon and our audience today. I would like to mention that right now, all of our participants of hackathon, we understand that you're under pressure, but we want to invite you to our brief program that we have done. And while we're still working with your videos, with your questionnaires, and while we're still working on all of the materials that we currently have. My name is Anastasia Sliptsova. I am representing the digitizing space and representing the team of our hackathon. I also have Olha Tuharinova with me, the project coordinator for Goethe Institute, and my teammates. And right now, we are going to be in a very, very fast pace. We're going to be going through the main events for our projects. We really wanted to invite a lot of people today to do a mini show for you, so you would not be waiting for the results, but for you to start networking and for you to have a very good experience of our hackathon as well. And today, we've basically our Slack platform for even a couple of times didn't work properly because of the enormous amount of the messages that you have provided to us. And we would really like to continue that. We would really like to see that coming further on because we really want this platform to be not just a platform for the event, but we really want it to be the further on networking platform for all of the creative people and the creative communities that want to change something. So based on the results of this hackathon, and by the way, we're going to announce the results of the hackathon at 6 o'clock. Now we have the previous preliminary results. We have 2,337 participants in Slack, which has been a very great surprise for us. We have 71 video presentations from your team. So basically 71 team made it to the finals, which is tremendous and incredible. So, we're taking our hats off because on behalf of all of our organizers, we're really fascinated by your motivation, by your energy, by your desire, by this communication that you have established and you have been throughout these 2 days. We have received a very good positive feedback from the moderators. We have now known that the teams are really cool. We really would like to make sure that we're going to be supporting you further on. In what way? We're going to tell you a little bit less at the hackathon's final. And right now, first of all, I really would like to thank all of our partners. Really would like to thank all of our partners, the partners for all of our projects, because we know that without our partners, the project would never have made it. The House of Europe project that has been supported by the European Commission, Goethe Institute Ukraine, and Digitizing Space. For a second year in a row, we are joining our technological and cultural expertise in order to create the best solutions for the Ukrainian cultural sector. Among our main partners, British Council, Institut Français, Czech Center, and uh, Grammarly, Unit City, Projector, our tech partners, all of our partners, they have been providing additional awards to the teams, and we're going to be mentioning that as well in our Slack channels of what kind of additional prizes, additional awards you might get. We're really grateful to all of our partners that have been supporting us throughout this event, and there's lots of partners. You see, we have combined all of the Ukrainian ecosystem of culture to create something really beautiful, something really cross-sectoral, something definitely universal and interesting and bright. So I would like to now wrap up my intro, and I would like to pass the floor to my colleague. Ola, are you with us? Yes, hi, I'm here. So I'm pleased to welcome everyone. Nasta, you had a long intro, but a very important intro. I can't even believe that we're already here in the finals. That is the second finals already. Basically, it's really hard for me to believe that that's actually happening. I really want to start with a very personal insight because, like yesterday, my Saturday Instagram feed was in notes full of the parties and festivals photos, but it has loads of the teams for our participants who have been all sitting with their laptops and who have been all proving and improving their ideas for the hackathon. I think I might turn older, I guess. I don't know, but it was such a great pleasure for me to see that. And my heart as a project manager and organizer was really melting not out of this heat wave that we have, but because of this nice moment. I would like to thank to all of our participants. First of all, I'm joining the gratitude that Nasta has already said, but basically without you, dear participants, our friends, our creators, our visionaries, without you, this project have never been possible. And this is amount of days and wouldn't be possible without you because basically we have been really unbelievably impressed by all of the quality of the projects that you have already provided us with. So we are going to be continuing identifying our winners with that. Okay, so that's really definitely very good and nice for all of us. While our mentors who are holding those projects on their shoulder, while they're still finalizing all of the ideas that we have provided, we really wanted to talk a little bit on our topic of the culture during the pandemic, on challenges that culture during the pandemic goes. So, and all of the challenges, and all of the challenges and how we're finding that and how are we overcoming that. So we have now invited the pool of very interesting speakers so they will share their experiences and they're going to be inspiring us and teach us a little bit. So we are going to start with this cherry on top, and we're going to launch straight away in the best way. So I'm really happy, pleased to invite our first speaker to join us on the stage. Right up the front woman of the Karpa Band, TV host and cultural diplomat, the author of books for adults and children and those who are in the middle of it. Irena Karpa, please welcome. The floor is yours. Yes, hello. Hello. Hi, everyone. I hope that you can see me well or hear me well because I have a little bit of unsustainable connection. Yes, we can see you well, but a very nice, inspiring background for you. So you see, I think I'm like I'm swimming like because basically during the pandemic of time, like the people have been suffering quite a lot. But basically right now, if we're speaking about culture and going through this culture, because right now we can see there's many local people that have lines and queues in the museums, and some of the museums are saying free of charge. That just for people to be visiting that, you know, if you have this opportunity right now to travel in Europe, and I'm always saying that because like, you know, all of the tourists are not here yet, but you still have this opportunity to enjoy art without the lines. You know, there are some lines, but not as they usually are during the touristic booms. And so, you know, if we're speaking about this culture between the pandemic, like before the pandemic and after, but I think that you're very optimistic. I don't think that everything ended already. I think that everything's going to be continuing like that, and everyone is trying to find a way to adapt to that. I'm always against it. For example, doing this online master classes or workshops, I really wanted to see people live, but then this is something that happened that people were not able to join those workshops. For example, in Paris, when I have had this educationally and eating programs that, as I call that, we have been drinking good wine, watching films and learning. So yes, was forced to do all of those things online as well, but it was very interesting experience. Like, except of having 6 exclusive students, you have 300 students, and then after that, these people, they create a very cool network. They find works for one another, they meet one another, they go to one another just to meet all over the world. So this is some really good things about this forced digitalization for everyone. And I think something that is going on in the art as well. I can't recall what was the name of the author because before I never knew about this writer before, but that was the case when like a digital painting has been sold by basically $50 million. Well, and I think that's just the beginning because basically we do not know like how it's going to be working on, whether it's going to be also how it's going to be treated by the modernity. So I have this friend, a writer. He has a very nice book called Rionaldo, and it works with Damien Hirst, reality, and all of these constructs they have been built by conditionalities. Like for example, when the curator is actually going to buy in the paintings of one of the artists only to increase the prices for that. So that's really hard to get a clearer understanding when there is just a bubble or where there is this kind of a very good and nice art. So it's really hard to now tell the real thing from artificial thing. And I'm always saying that you have to believe your guts, basically, as Castaneda said. So basically, you have to understand when you look at something, whether you feel something or you just passing by with nothing. So if it didn't actually touch anything inside of you, then that's, well, maybe I'm just getting older, because basically I've been, the first museum that we have been through after the pandemic was Prado in Madrid. Never been there before, and I was really looking at the El Greco exhibition. There's a very good collection, because basically, El Greco is being brought out. This was really, really small pictures, and everyone wanted to see that, but there was a couple of rooms for that. And I've mentioned and I've understood that there is something like, some artists that you feel are yours, but some other you do it like a checkpoint, we're just ticking it that you have seen those pictures, and that's. So basically, yes, so you see that, and something works with you, something does not, and this kind of a cultural hunger, it didn't bring people to out-consume everything that is there, but it's still this artistic hunger. I know that all of these museums all over the world, they have had different kind of immersive exposition when the people can walk around, they take a look at the paintings overall. Maybe I'm not that kind of person who really likes art, that's kind, so I can't actually say what's the problem with that. But I usually like to find some kind of unknown painting and to look into it, and what kind of a story might have been behind it. And I would like to offer that to different kind of artistic people as well. And during our writing courses that I provide, I really like gigs and different kind of developers who say like, I'm not an artistic person, I don't really get it. But those that get the best text, really, really cool, really nicely outlined in the full form. And I said, basically, I want already see that they're going to say like, I'm a poetic soul, and this is a very bad text, and that one person says like, I'm an engineer, I'm very strict, I'm a researcher, I'm a developer, but the text gets really, really good. So this is once again maybe a little bit of mentioning for your colleagues again in text sphere. Please try out yourself, because this is something that I like as a writer in our writing culture. So just keep on following of what is going on, because we're not going to be all selling this paintings for $50 million. We should write something as well. I don't know whether you were able to do a couple of the screenshots, because there's one of the projects, the digital idea for the co-authorship. We have created this project that is called You Are the Author. So it's the author. We have made it with this team with Yaroslava Hresi, Yulia Solovey, and we have created this digital project when you can choose one of the three authors, and you can add up some additional parts of the text. So, as you have, like, it's always getting developed up to 16 different options for the climax and the end of story. So basically, the person, they are creating their main choices. So basically, so is it a man or a woman that are the main characters? So like, is this man nice or no? Whether she followed this man or not. So basically, that creates another version of a story, and then this person, they have their own half of this book. There have really unexpected options happening. So basically, when we have, like, for example, there was like the main character went with Costa to open up the shops of Eclair, and there was like, for example, there were the idea and the moment when the dog's dreams came true and sausages were at all of the trees, was some tragedy and dramatic things, dramatic things. So basically, I do really want you to take a look at that theauthor.com UA. I don't know, I will maybe send it into the chat. I don't know if people can actually see the chat. So, but I don't know what kind of results will happen. It's very interesting. So whether people really liking more comedies or tragedies. So that was a very interesting experience, because this is about digital writing. It's quite clear that I have written it on my own first, and when people are choosing, they're working with the fragments of text. And I do recall before the pandemic, one of the television channels, I really wanted to launch this kind of a big digital project when the artificial intelligence would be versus the human intelligence, when the contact would be created by an artistic machine and a human, and then the jury should have chosen who's better, because basically there's always this structure that you have to follow. There's some applications, they help you to write it better, and then the jury should make sure of whether what they have heard is like who has written it better, the machine or people. And I also was invited to be in the jury, and I've always said, look, how can you define it? I've always said that basically this person that has been written by a person is going to make me cry or make me laugh. I don't know whether you can include it into the learning machine, this kind of algorithms of, for example, something to be touching or something to be funny. I think there's always this kind of ways how you can actually spread it here, but in the end, the project didn't happen because something didn't work out with this moment of the artificial intelligence. So it didn't work out. There was like really, really bad text getting out of it. So it's a very interesting direction of what you can do that. It's quite clear that the robots, they will be able to write poetry, even a good one, because I'm not in poetry, so I don't know. I do think that this is something that doesn't really work out. But I've seen it's like it wouldn't even be easy to say whether it was written by a machine or by quite an average mediocre poet. But I don't think that the machine is going to write a text on the level of William Blake or Hatathon or many other great poets as well. What I wanted to say, what was also very interesting during the pandemic in this case, I think that you might all remember, we have been talking about that for quite a long period of time. So what this platform working, there was the Clubhouse platform. That was a very interesting thing. Why it didn't work out? Because there was very hype at the very beginning, because everyone didn't want to watch and everyone's going to be listening. But I didn't think maybe this content didn't work out and the podcasts have stayed with us, but the Clubhouse has disappeared in some way. That's very good, because right now on the 8th of August, we have this very good project with Megago, and I have been also writing some text, a really terrible text about, I don't know what was going on with me, but that you should be very, very dark audio book that we wanted to do, and they have been reading notes, and they have decided that they would like to make a very nice radio drama about that. So when you're reading it out in parts, it is as if you were watching a film, and there is like a lot of things. There is the acting, the words, the music, like 8 episodes, very nice, some very funny, some very dark. And I think that is something that we've been doing for quite a long period of time, and with the pandemic we made it a much more interesting project than it should have been in the very beginning of it. So then the very good idea overall. So the pandemic has created some new forms as well, some new shapes as well. So basically there's going to be changing something, and you can see this overall online courses, all of them maybe creating some really good content. I've always wanted to work live with people, because there's a lot of things that you can do that, or you can stay in this niche when there's a lot of things already happening. So I don't know, but okay, I don't know whether you were able to take a look at the slides, that you can actually take a look at that theauthor.com UA, and you can take a look at what kind of options of the stories you can make. Basically, it would be very good if you will add up. I have one of the ideas for the film. There was like a 3 ladies of a seniority. They wanted to create a startup, the 3 ladies. I still do not know what they can do as a startup, but that would be very good. It's like a comedy that was a very nice, like Sex and the City, because everyone is currently saying that, like, women older than 60 years old, but they're still talking about sex. So this is something that I wanted to do as well, but I just wanted making them talking about startups. So dear developers, if you have some kind of a funny startup you're not going to be used, let me know, because I really want to have there from these 3 characters that I've created that want to make their startup as well, because it's very interesting to do a very nice human things for the generation of our mothers or grannies. That's it. And what else about the world trend? I think that everything is going to be changing. Everything is going to be adapted as well. I don't think that the masks are going to take away from us. I don't think they will disappear. Sometimes you even forget to take the masks off. And I think it's a very good thing for us to go traveling while still not virtual, all of it. But I think that we can make the virtual reality good as well. I trust you. Thank you. I think that's all from my side. Oh, yes, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for finding the time to join us and to support the teams if you're interested in that. So, as a follow up, we can send you all of the teams that we have that have been working on some project. I think that some of the things might be interesting for you, and we will do this intro with teams for you. Maybe you'll be also able to mentor them. Um, we have more than 100 teams, 71 team is in finals, and right now our juries, they're doing everything possible to make sure that they will rewatch all of those video pages and they're going to choose the winners. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Arena, for joining us on Sunday. Thank you very much for joining us even on your vacation. It's a really good thing to look at this background. And I do hope that our team, after all of it, is also going to go to heat up our bones a little bit. And I think that the participants that have been working for 48 hours without rest to create some kind of a good prototype and to support Ukrainian culture. Thank you. Thank you. Goodbye. While we're still waiting for the next speaker to join us, I wanted to invite my colleague and moderator, Olga, to join me here. Ola, are you with us here? Yes, yes, I'm always here. But I'm just going to get to you as well, because there is a storm coming to Kiev, and I think that might be the thing that influences us as well. But if you can hear me, then there's something that I wanted to continue with this topic that Irana has started when he has mentioned and started in the French Riviera on these algorithms and robots. That's basically that's my really good friend Lilia Bilecka, the curator and the founder of the independent edition AHA. In 2011, she has made a very interesting personal project. She has used algorithms for different audio messages from Kiev Zelenbud, and she has had really nice texts that are really look like poetry. And right now you're going to have a link at this kind of project, and you'll be able to read about this project, and you will be able to read this project, and you're going to be listening to those poetry read out by Nadia Parfan, Ukrainian director and DOP. It has started before the pandemic, but I think that it's really worked out during the pandemic in the best way. But let us meet our next cherries on top. We do have full cherries, basically, the cherries on the top. But quite recently, that was a very important event that has taken place. And this is the event that we're all looking forward for the whole year. It has been completed, and they will start waiting for the next edition. So this year it has been both in online and in open air things. So I'm speaking about the book Arsenal, and the Goethe Institute has joined the preparations of the festival, and we also had our side project for the literature garden that has been initiated by our library. And with the help and with the collaboration of other departments of Goethe Institute, the project has been curated by my colleague Maria Shubchik. And I would like to invite our next guests, and I would like to invite the great coordinator of of Book Arsenal, Yulia Kozlovets, and Oksana Khmelyovska, the curator for the Professional Development Program, the co-founder of the Culture Project Chitomo, to join us here. First of all of us, we are still impressed by how incredible the book Arsenal was. it brought so much happiness to all of us. We still have this really warm and nice aftertaste staying with us, but it would be very, very interesting for us to know how it was done, because basically we know that the dates have been postponed, and that has been, in my experience, that would basically very, very hard. That doesn't mean that you have more time, but it means that you have more pressure and more tasks for the organizers, because you had to uh, do work more, and there's more messages in your Slack and motions coming up. So basically, there would be a very nice thing for us to take a look up behind the curtain, how it worked out, in what way the organization of this kind of a big event is being held right now. And Yulia, the floor is yours. Thank you very much. Hi, everyone. Thank you very much for all of the good words that you have mentioned for the book Arsenal. We have been waiting and looking forward all of that as well. And thank you very much for your heart and for your support. We have felt it. We have felt all of the support from the community and from the people who have been waiting as long as we did. And I would like to agree to everything that you've said. That was something that we have been looking forward to, and that is something that we have been was really hard for us. We still have this, we're still trying to get over it with our team. And basically, we have the opportunity now to talk about that. And I think I would like to ask to turn the video on, the video that we have made while we're still been preparing to our book festival. Maybe not all of the people know about Book Arsenal a lot, but we've made this really nice video that really gives us an outline on what kind of people are behind the Book Arsenal. If we'll be able to turn it on, that will be great. If we will not be able to turn it on, then I can actually uh, tell you about what is going on in the video. Can we turn the video on? We just a second for us. We're trying to understand it, whether it will be there. Yes, maybe you'll do a little bit of intro and we will try to launch the video. Well, yes, of course, as it already been said, so basically, yes, the festival has been held after a couple postponement, because basically we have planned the festival to take place in 2020. Before the pandemic, it was an annual festival, and it should have been the 10th Jubilee Festival for us. And we've wanted to make everything that for it to be best, for it to be really like a good 10th anniversary, and for it to be the coolest ever possible. But it's all happened as it happened. In the March, we all have been on the lockdown, and as we all know, that's the overall events as a scope of a book arsenal that need a lot of time to be prepared. And we have been in full speed of preparation, and we have been in the final couple of months that are before the event itself. We have been really working. It was really hard for us to stop, but it's all happened. And right now, at first point, we have postponed from the dates in May that were really clear for everyone. We put it to the August 2020. We also that it's not going to be for a longer period of time. All of those changes that happened to us during the spring that time, but in around 2 or 3 months, it was quite clear for us that it will not work in 2020. And it was a really hard decision for us to make. The team was really surprised by that, but we have made the decision to not to make the festival in 2020. We only have left a couple of separate projects for the book Arsenal in 2020 that have been held, and that experience that we've had while we have made a couple of smaller projects, that was very important for us, and it was very useful for us because it given us the new skills, it given us the new understanding of what we can do, and it given us the clear understanding of what can we do, what kind of new knowledge we might use when we have been preparing to the festival for 2020. In 2020, we had a couple of projects used as well. There was one of the very successful project for the lockdown, and there was the literature for export, and Oksana is going to be mentioning about this project further on. So exporting literature was a very good project. We also have worked with our traditional competition for the best book design. And because the life didn't stop with lockdown, a lot of processes have been slowed down, but some things they're still well working on, and some things were continued. The publisher have still published the new books, and we really wanted to outline the best books in the design. And so the best book design 2020 has also been held in online. We have kept in 2020 the anti-composition project that was the project from our children and teenage programs, when the children and teenagers, they also were writing a lot of text. It was a very important thing during the lockdown to do this competition as well. And then together with our partners with Goethe Institutes and the Frankfurt Book Fair, we have implemented a very interesting and very cool project for basically that was maybe you have seen that it was the bar camp, and maybe you have been participating in that by the end of August 2020 on this bar camp. At the bar camp we met digitalizing space, and that was a very interesting for us, and we'll keep on collaborating further on. So basically, year 2020 was on one hand the very full of crisis, but it also given us the opportunity to keep on working with some new and unknown things for us. So basically, it given us the new opportunities and new activities. And we're using this experience in 2021. We have understood that we need to plan the festival for 2021, and we have understood that there's a lots of uncertainty that we have, because the lockdown has made us sure that we cannot do the offline festival in 2020, but 2021 has even raised more open questions. Can we maybe turn on the presentation and to speak about 2021 then? Or that would be harsh too, because I know that we will not be able to put the video, but can we turn the presentation on? No? Just give us a second. Just give us a second. We'll try to do that. Okay, so I will just continue to talk about that as well. And basically, in 2021, we have had a long strategic period in our team. We have been having our strategy, trying to clarify our mission, our goals that we would to reach with 2021, because all of those times of lockdown, they'll given us the opportunity to understand that basically maybe we have been taking some of the things out of our point of view. Maybe we have been very limited to something based on our experience. And this lack of the physical festival has given us the opportunity to understand in a really fast pace, to understand that the main value for us for this festival is about it being real. It's about being tangible. And for us, it was clear that the real festival for us is important. And if we were speaking about the hybrid formats for the festival in the future, we understand that we need to include the offline component of this festival as well. So when we have been planning the festival for 2020, we first discussed that to be working on that in May with the traditional dates that were already familiar to all of our participants and visitors. And we have started to plan our hybrid festival because we've understood that this hybrid that we have planned from the very beginning give us the opportunity of being flexible and give us the opportunity to respond to different possible changes that will be happening to us throughout the time. We have been locked down, we have been out of lockdown, we worked on the different types of regime remotely and in office, in-house. That was all very complex and complicated for us because the book arsenal is a project of the art arsenal, and art arsenal has been in this turmoil as well, because the exhibitions that we've had, they have been postponed. We have been creating these exhibitions, but we were not able to get people to watch that. And we knew that is going to be working with us as well. And one of the complications of planning under these conditions was this reality where you needed to plan, when you needed to start preparing not one festival, but three festivals. You needed to have a plan A, plan B, and plan C. And out of all of these plans, you have to build up the development strategy, the strategy of how you're going to be dealing with all of the working processes. Who are the people who are responsible for that, so on and so forth. And during this time, when we have been providing this planning, we have created this hybrid concept, and we have understood that we will definitely have the offline part of the festival, and that's going to be made with all of these limitations and according to all of the rules that will be there during the time that the festival will be held. And we need to have a certain model that will give us the opportunity to consider all of these unknown things and uncertain things during the moment of planning, all of this X, Y, and Z in all of these equations that have been the basis for our work and basis for our planning. So throughout all of this time, throughout all of this preparatory period, we have used a lot of our experiences that we have gained throughout 2020. We understood that there are some certain parts of the festival and some certain processes that we can transform and to get into online. But there are some things that we will not even try to cover with online opportunities because we're losing the main focus or we're losing the thing why the people are coming to the festival. So we've taken down certain things and we've taken down certain things. We did it consciously. We've made some unpopular decisions. Basically, we've understood that during this planning period, we've understood that while we have been developing all of those mechanisms, it was very important for us to discuss all of the participants of this project. And we've started to conduct the Zoom meetings with all of the participants. We had 3 Zoom meetings throughout all of the preparatory processes. And at those Zoom meetings, we have been talking very directly and sincere with the participants. What kind of steps we take, why that is important, why it is important for us to be heard and to be supported in those unpopular steps that we make. And I wanted to say that our participants, the publishers, they have also supported us with all of those things. And they have were really clear and understanding. They supported our vision. They supported our desire to make, the festival in the best way. We really wanted to make this festival offline and we've made the most of it. We've made everything in our power, everything in our effort to make that possible. We have understood that and we have planned all of that, keeping that in mind. But we had a very clear vision of the festival and we've had those detailed 3 options and 3 plans, the A, B, and C plans for the stage of the most strict lockdowns for limitations, for example, working in the orange zone of danger in Kiev or the green zone that was like 2 days before the festival has started. And for a very long period of time, we have been developing our position roadmap that has increased by 3 compared to the usual offline festivals. We're working with a hybrid festival. We've understood that the people and we need to invite 3 times more experts than when you're planning the offline festival. We have talked to our sponsors. We have been talking to all of them. We have been talking to our partners as well. We have been explaining all of our unpopular decisions and unpopular things that we were forced to work with. We have worked with with the participants, and I've already said we've tried to be the most flexible. We've always tried to be very flexible due to the changes that were happening constantly. So we postponed the festival for another month, and we have had the festival by the end of June. It had some additional complexness for us. Yes, we didn't manage to cover everything that we wanted to do, if we'll be honest with you with that. There were some things that were really hard for us, the things that we had to consider because of those different limitations, and maybe those limitations have been taken down at some moment, and maybe those limitations were a little bit of fast too much for us, but those were decisions that have already been made. And that's the truth. And yes, there are some people that stayed unsatisfied with how it all has been held, or like not really satisfied with how it all been made. But there's a lot of people who have been grateful for the book arsenal to happen. If you will ask me whether this book arsenal has been challenging, yes, it was very challenging. And as a coordinator, I'm always saying that whether we will manage to cover everything, no, we didn't manage to cover everything. Whether I would like to would replicate this experience, whether I would like to do that again, I'm not sure, but I definitely have no remorse that we've done it. And I would like to pass the floor to Oksana. She'll tell you about 2 most successful projects and the projects that we wanted to plan online straight away. And we have understood it from the very beginning that these 2 projects are going to be the components for the online festival. And even if the festival would be fully provided in offline, we would still keep those projects online. So from the very beginning, our project was already multimedia due to Oksana's project. Oksana that has got all of the possible skills in managing the online component of the professional programs. Oksana, the floor is yours. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm pleased to see you, to welcome, to know that you're here. And yes, I wanted to say that we had around 300 events during the book Arsenal this year, and we've had more than 40 or 70s event. We had online stream as well. So we worked in this hybrid format. We collaborated with MegaGo, and now you can take a look at those events. They have been recorded and saved in the archive for Ukrainian culture already, which is very good and nice as well. Moreover, we have decided that we've had a very good views for these events that have been taken. They have been there because before that, this book arsenal with using this hybrid format we'll be able to broaden our audience because yes, we had some people physically coming up. There was like fewer people than in 2019, but because many people have watched our events, we have broadened our audience overall. A very good project that has been happening together with the libraries that have become the embassies of the book arsenal in the small cities and small villages. That was really cool to see how people in these libraries, they've got together, they've joined in their communities, and they have been watching our events in computers and the screens, and they have been discussing those events together. So even those people who were not able to make it to the book arsenal, they've had this idea and opportunity to get together and to discuss that. And they have already said, thank you very much for making those broadcasts and making those streamings. That was a very good component of this hybrid format as well. Speaking on our events that have taken place, that's something that already the program for the professional development that I have been working on this year, I wanted to say that I was really nervous because during the book arsenal itself, we also had a lot of moments. Like, for example, I've had an event when there has been a lot of ambassadors or the cultural attaches from different countries all over the world, and they have been participated in that, and the moderator was that during the book arsenal. And I thought, like, who's going to be watching that? You know, there's like 20 talking heads sitting in one event, and the moderator that is sitting there in the room, but the people, we had around 70 people, and they still have been watching this discussion live. So I think that the audience has changed as well, and we have already, for the people who are coming to this kind of event, they are ready to work in different formats. So when we have the live audience, and we also have these talking heads that we are offering them to follow as well. I think that the two main conclusions that we made out of book arsenal and after the experience of working in these two programs, first of all, is the online event has to be focused, and it has to have a very clear audience that you're targeting. The people who are joining this event, they have to know why they are there. In our experience, then yes, only in this way you can make this event successful. So that is why most of the events were for the professional audience, the one that have been online. The events for the broader audience, and we had managed to make some of the online events from that as well, they were not that much interesting. We had 147 events for B2B with the Ukrainian publishers. Together with the digital space this year, we have made 142 B2B meetings, and we have been joined by 21 Ukrainian publishers and 41 out of publishing houses from 32 countries all over the world. And that was very important for us. Why that was successful? Because people knew why they want to do that, because they know they were building businesses, they bought the rights to the books, and they were able to promote it together, and they understood why there is this need for this networking to be made. This is something that they need, so it worked out well. Another moment is that you can gain some new contacts through the screen of your laptop. Now, this lockdown, I have added up a lot of friends in Facebook and in LinkedIn, in other social media, because even our nice program that has been mentioned as well, the festival, Tea Festival. And for us as a team of the Book Arsenal, we have developed a platform where we try to unite the Ukrainian literature managers and curators and international literature managers and curators for them to be discussing the problems together, for them to identify the very complex issues to one another, and for them to discuss and how they should work further on with the digitalization, the process of making profit out of your work. And we are continuing to work with those people right now. We are thinking about the next project, and we are even got this opportunity to introduce Ukrainian managers with international colleagues, and they have this opportunity to work together. They might recommend the authors that they know the best, and Ukraine is definitely going to be included into the map for the literature events of the world. And basically, the book arsenal is something that is there in the map of the world. It was very successful, 26 participants, 17 countries. So yes, that was important for the Ukrainian cultural managers as well. It was a very good experience because they have now seen that they can be that easily be the part of this community. And the opportunity for informal communication and moderators. Right now we have Olga Tuharinova, who also has been the moderator for our events as well, and we have another moderator from Insha Osvita. It is very important for us to have this online corners where people can communicate with one another. We have done it with the technical support of digital space, and it has given us the opportunity to work on this small talk. It also works well because the people are still people, whether they're online or offline. People really want to talk to one another. People really want to tell something more about their achievements, and they want to talk to all those people who work talk with them. That's very important as well. The first idea or thought that we've had that the festivals, and we still can see that during the book arsenal as well, that the festivals, they're being scaled up in space. Because, book arsenal used to be a very narrow event. We've had this 5 days, and all of the media attention goes to this 5 days, and all of the journalists are coming there. They're only there for this 5 days, and everything is being done in this 5 days. And all of the publishers, they are there for 5 days. Right now, we're not limited to this time. Like, for example, some of the events they'll be working on, and um, they'll be held for half a year in duration overall. And we are also discussing it with our colleagues from different international fairs in exhibitions, that there's the same experience for them as well. That everything is not that kind of condensed in time, but is now wider in time. So, for example, we're going to be having the book pitch together with Odessa Film Festival, because there are also the partners of the Book Arsenal, and there's going to be the opportunity for Ukrainian authors to pitch their books, so that maybe their books and their stories might be filmed later on. And basically, that is going to be our final event in this festival year, even though that is already a month and a half after the book arsenal took place. And of course, and Yuda has mentioned it slightly, there was like the fifth point of view that we wanted to outline as well, that it's important to collaborate with cool people, with their partners and with the cool counterparts. So as a team of the book arsenal, we're not magicians. We can't do everything altogether. We do not have, the power, or we didn't have it, because basically we don't have all of the opportunities from the world, but it was very important for us to do whatever that is possible for us. We really helped the digital space, who helped us with the technical support, and with Magogo, who has been helping us with the broadcasting as well. So yeah, so maybe kind of advice, please search for the people who know how to help you. So maybe they're working from the IT sector, or maybe some other sectors that will build you an effective collaboration. Yes, and I want to wish you the great ideas, and I do wish all the best luck for the teams that will win today. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for this real speech. Thank you very much for this great presentation and really great speech. So, um, definitely, Arsenal, you've said that a month and a half has passed, but basically there's only conversation that's happening about Book Arsenal in Kiev and in other cities still. So we still feel that, and all of the people they're still saying how many books they have bought during Book Arsenal. So I think that is a very nice note down for all of the people. That's the simplest marker of collaboration between the people and the event, that basically all of us were going to Arsenal to buy some books, and you always get back with the bunch of new books being bought. And the experience of the events, there's a lot of emotions after the event, that for sure. I would like to pass the floor to Anastasia Sliptsova, another great moderator for our today's evening. So, Nastya, the floor is yours. Yes, thank you very much. I'm really grateful to Oksana and Julia for their collaboration. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to be at the Arsenal because I was in a different country by that time, but I've really followed them for online for everything that has been there. That was very inspiring, and that was a clear thing about how you can, in the fastest pace, to reshape a big full-scale event, how you can make some really practical events online, and how you can get the results that you would like to have. So the greatest respect to all you, and thank you very much for making it happen. And thank you very much for joining us on Sunday. I think that our participants were really happy to see you as well, and hope to see you soon. I think that we will meet one another in Odessa Film Festival. I think that maybe we can even meet live. Yes, definitely, for sure. We're going to be supporting the book pitch winners. Yes, we will. We will definitely. Thank you. And while we're still waiting for our next speaker to join us, I really would like to give you a little bit of information about the next speaker of the hackathon. I think that, I don't, it's Rasmus Winstead Saring, who is the head of the organization Creative Business Network. We're still waiting for him to join us. Just a couple of words about the Creative Business Network. It is a very big community, and it is a very big program overall. The program of supporting the creative and cultural projects, creative entrepreneurs, and they do a lot of things in innovation. So they work with the innovative cultural ideas. So right now, the team leads of our teams are listening to me. So I would like to advise you to listen clearly to what Rasmus is going to be telling us, to take a look at this Creative Business Network website, because they have a lots of interesting information there on the mentoring program, on all of the things that have been going on in the international community of cultural projects. So at this hackathon, you've had a very cool experience when you have been the opportunities to write the mentors and to have this opportunity to meet them, and you have this opportunity to get connected to with Rasmus and LinkedIn. Please do not have doubts about doing that. Just do that, because this is something that you have in you. So this is the creativity and value that you have in you. There's something that will make your project successful and well funded. So now I think that we are waiting for a little bit more for Rasmus to join us. Do we have any questions in the stream right now? I think that all of the people are very impatient. They're waiting for the pitches to start. I think people are already ready because we had this deadline at 2 o'clock, and so they have been concentrating their energy by that. And if you think that you have the most heated night in your apartment today, you're mistaken. The most heated up night was in our project channel in Slack, because all of the ideas have been shaping up there, and they have all been done there in the end. So I think that today in our Slack channels at 2 o'clock, the overall temperature for the project work has got up to the spice levels of heat. Okay, so I would like to remind all of us and for all of us, dear colleagues and dear audience, that this cool initiative would have never happened without the support of House of Europe. For a second year in a row, they are organizing and help us with this great community and with this great events that keeps on growing on. Because for us, as the organizers, was really happy to see the alumni of the last year hackathons and to see the new faces. It's very good that our community keeps on growing. And our great speakers have already spoken about that. And by the way, we only have the ladies speaking today. I've just thought about that. But you know, who runs the world? I think you know how to answer this question. Still, right now we're working in the digital epoch. I'm also have been really frustrated with all of those cliches phrases, but I still cannot avoid that. In this total digital format, it is very important for us to still be the human-centric person. And the principles that have been used throughout the antique times as well, and then the Renaissance. Overall, it still works now as well. And for me personally, for me, this close connection between the people that are being created right now, between our organizers, our speakers. This is something that is the strongest, this human capital. This is the most valuable out of everything, despite the crises, despite the storms, the bad moods, or whatever, despite the economical breakdown or the prices in COVID. So the human capital is something that is always there. And that is something that really helps us to keep on moving in the direction of the sustainable development. So I do hope that we've managed to create these conditions throughout these 2 intensive days. For these 2 days, we're able to create this platform for you to meet one another, for you to start building up these bridges that quite soon might turn into very interesting projects. So the real results that we're all hoping for to see at 6 o'clock, they will be not announced this evening. They will be announced slightly later on when the projects are going to be growing further on, when the acquaintances are going to be transformed into effective collaboration, and when we're going to see the new names and of the teams, the new names of startups. Because if you can remember that, you might have seen them already. You can see like how the cool startups have been born. They have started with the business goals. Well, the real results of our hackathon will be seen later on when the real ideas will be created. So yes, I would like to support my colleagues, and I wanted to say that our Slack platform is going to be active. We're not going to turn it off. So you'll have the access to all of the contacts. You will have this access to communication between one another. Maybe you will not be using that. Some of the people will not be using that, but still you'll have these channels available and you'll be able to get the contacts of people that are interesting for you. You'll be able to talk to these people as well. Please talk not only to the mentors, please talk to your colleagues as well. And they can tell you a lot. They can share a lot of things with you. But basically, maybe you'll be able to do a project together. And I support what Olga has said as well. That's the main benefits of this. Is not about the money. The main awards is not about money. And those are the skills and the competences, the experiences that you have now received while you have been working in this intensive rhythm, while talking to those incredible people who have been there with you throughout this event. Okay, so right now, I think we're going to make a little technical break because we're still waiting for our speakers to join us. I do hope that we really want him to join. I know that Rasmus is right now is on vacation. He really actually promised us he will join us straight from his vacation. Maybe there are some things some technicalities that we need to resolve right now. So right now, we will get a little bit of technical break and we will get back to you very soon. But right now, let us all get back to Slack, and we will all ask you as organizers to give us some feedback, to give us some comments about what were your experiences, because we really want to make the next year even better. So right now we are going to be in the announcements channel. You can see the feedback form, and we'll be really grateful if you will give us a couple of words of feedback and if you will provide some feedback for us. Thank you very much, and we'll see you soon. We will be back in our live stream at the House of Europe page in some really, really, really brief time.